And now I give the floor to the delegation of Pakistan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me the floor. I am exercising my right of reply to respond to the comments delivered by the Indian delegate. Mr. Chair, it is unfortunate that India, which is committing the most brutal state terrorism in the occupied territories of Jammu and Kashmir and sponsoring terrorism globally, is making such false accusations. But this is common amongst such gross violators of international law who openly commit acts of aggression against their neighbors, pursue colonial settler policies of occupying land illegally, and falsely label the legitimate struggles for freedom and liberation as terrorism. Terrorism can and must be eradicated, but history has borne witness to the fact that struggles for liberation cannot be crushed. India is blinded by its ideology of hate and remains incapacitated in its ability to acknowledge the grave situation in occupied Jammu and Kashmir and the scale and quantum of the indigenous resistance of the Kashmiri people against its illegal occupation. India is only deceiving itself. We advise Indians to look back into history, introspect, reflect, and abide by the UN Security Council resolutions that provide for the Kashmiri people to exercise their legitimate right to self-determination. Mr. Chair, this is not sufficient of what I have said. India is actively involved in terror financing through money laundering networks and running proxies against Pakistan. We have time and again provided concrete evidence of these sabotage activities to the UN Security Council. Indian attempts to damage and destroy our economic trade routes is an open secret, particularly the targeting of the China-Pakistan economic corridor through terrorist attacks planned and orchestrated by groups such as the TTP, BLA, and Majid Brigade at the behest of such adversaries. India has been supporting terrorism in Balochistan province of Pakistan as well. The world has for long ignored warnings of India's unacceptable behavior that is a manifestation of its government's Hindutva group of ideologically motivated individuals inspired by hate and violence. As a consequence, Indian terror franchise has gone global with a series of assassination campaigns against its dissidents residing overseas that has been exposed in Canada and the United States, while Indian leaders publicly boast of murdering their citizens abroad. Mr. Chair, the international community has a responsibility to hold India accountable for its state terrorism and violations of international law in occupied Jammu and Kashmir, for sponsoring terrorism against Pakistan, and for its global franchise of assassination campaigns in foreign lands. I thank you, Mr. Chair.